Welcome into Game Tape with Tony. As always, I'm your host, Tony Ferrari from Elite Prospects. And this week, I am pleased to be joined by the first returnee to the series, Frank Nazar. How's it going today, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to get this going.
All right. A lot has happened since the last time you were here. You were a little 17-year-old, the draft eligible kid at the start of your season. So let's start with the draft. What was it like hearing Chicago call your name at 13th overall?
It was an unbelievable feeling just being up in those stands and just hearing my name. And I mean, before they call your name, just cameras come all over you and are just like right in front of you and just you're ready and you're like, oh, Jesus, this is most likely going to be me, you know? So then you hear Chicago go up, Kyle Davidson calls my name and you kind of are shocked, don't know what to do, but it's like, you should know what to do, even though you've been thinking about it your whole life. Like, oh, like this is what you want. But then in the moment, you're like, oh, that's like trying to figure it out. But it was just such a great moment spent with my family.
Now, that summer, it was discovered you had a hip issue, it required surgery, and caused you to miss a lot of last season. You came back towards the end, worked out, helped Michigan towards the Frozen Four. What was that process like, though, looking back at the rehabilitation and rehab and recovery and everything you had to do?
It was definitely just a long process that I kind of just was able to work on parts of my games that normally I wouldn't really be able to work on. Just like a lot of mental aspects of getting better that way. And even just kind of becoming like more of a learner of the game and just watching more of other players play and kind of setting off of them. But honestly, I think it was a great thing for me and something that I could learn from and just take all the positive stuff out of it.
Now, the speed element has always been a big part of your game. You look starting to look like your old self again this year. What kind of concerns did you have coming back? Did you think you'd ever be able to get to that top speed again? Was there any worry that you were never going to be the same player again?
No, I mean, actually, you always think that, but I mean, in the like, if you think about it realistically, like that's not really what's gonna happen, and that's why you do stuff like that, and that's why you recover the way you do, so then you can always be at your best self and your best game. So I really like didn't really have much like fear of that. It was more of just trying to make sure like a lot of people don't understand like the struggle of that and how like coming back. So it's really like the media aspect of other people don't like not understanding it. So that honestly is probably like one of the toughest parts. But like I said, just working on your mental strength and mental toughness was able to just be myself and just work on getting better.
Now, like I said, you're looking like your old self again this year. One of the ways I described you back in your draft year was controlled chaos because
Yeah.
you were all over the ice. It was so fun to watch you play. What's it like this year now that you're feeling back to 100% and you're starting to get your game back under you?
It's definitely been fun. Just, I mean, last year obviously I struggled a little bit just coming back, but being able to play just my type of hockey and my style and just with confidence has been just a lot of fun, especially playing at a rink like Yost. And I mean, when you score there, it's probably one of the best rinks to score in, and it's just such a blast just being able to just play at home and play with these guys on the team right now, and it just feels really good to just be back and in a team setting.
Now, you won the World Junior Gold Medal this past winter. What was it like putting that USA jersey back on again? Obviously, you played for the NTDP, but putting it on for that under 20 squad was pretty special, I bet.
Yeah, not being able to go last year definitely made this one feel a lot more special. And I mean, sitting at home watching last year just made me not be able to wait till to get to Sweden this year. So I just had to make the most of it and just be able to put it all out there. And I'm very happy with how our team like came together. And I mean, now we're a family after winning that. And I mean, can't ever take that away from us.
Now, you guys aren't quite the dominant team you were last year in Michigan, but you're still a very good team, one of the highest scoring teams in the entire nation. What do you think you guys have to do to try to get back to the top of the rankings and be one of the best teams at the end of the year?
Well, honestly, if you look at a lot of the stats, our team this year is pretty similar to our team last year. I think one of the biggest things is closing out games. And I mean, if you've looked at our last couple games against like high end teams like Michigan State and Wisconsin, we're always winning and just leading those beating those guys going into like the third and just having high leads. And I mean, we outplay those guys could be 50 out of the 60 minutes and just those 10 minutes they come back and score a few. So just cleaning up on that end of it. But I mean, we have an amazing team, and we have a lot of really good players who buy into what Coach Narado says. And there's no doubt in my mind that our team's high end, and we've got a good chance at it this year.
All right, now you've played in college hockey, you've played in the USHL with the NTDP, and you played at the World Juniors. Is there a player that sticks out as maybe the toughest player you've gone up against?
Um, I don't know. I don't know. You might have asked me this last time. I probably said the same answer, but like honestly, like going up against guys like our other teams, I don't really focus like who I'm going up against. Like I don't really know. It sounds bad, but like I don't really know a lot of other like hockey players like in the lineup. It's kind of just like go out there and do my thing. Obviously, I know all my buddies that I played with or against, but I try to just go out there and just treat everybody the same and just be myself.
All right, now you've already been drafted, but looking towards the NHL, who's the guy that you kind of model your game after?
I'd just say probably Braden Point. I've always gone with him. He's just such a dynamic player. Can play both ways, defense and offense. And just the way he uses his size and his speed to just beat guys and get under their hands and just keep the game just such a high pace and high energy is just something that a lot of guys like me, like my size and my speed, just want to model their games after. And he's just such a great guy to watch.
Now you're probably a year or two away from the NHL now. Who's the guy you're really excited to face off against in the NHL?
Um Dylan Larkin, and honestly, just playing against the Red Wings, their whole team, I think that'd just be such an amazing feeling. I played on that rink a few times now this year and last year with Michigan, so maybe it won't be such an away game, but I think just playing up against those guys, and I mean if Patrick Kane's still there, it'd be a lot of fun playing up against him, and yeah, just honestly just the Wings team in general.
All right, now let's dive into some game tape here for you.
Yeah.
All right, this first clip's against Michigan State, in-state rival. You do a really good job here of getting to the puck, working hard. You guys work the puck around, and then when you finally get the puck in some space here in just a second, you're able to show off some of that high-end skill that you have and some of the shiftiness in your skating that maybe wasn't always there last year coming back from injury. So, talk me through a play like this where you're able to kind of work away from everybody and outwork everybody with your skating.
Yeah, this play, I knew that these guys on the ice were pretty tired that we were going up against, and just working hard to get the puck back. And I saw that I had a chance to cut to the middle, and just kind of reading and reacting to how guys are pressuring me, and I was able to draw two guys out there, and Rucker was able to get into a good open spot and have a nice shot and get that on net with a good screen.
Now, playing with a guy like Rucker McGroarty and some of these other players on Michigan, how fun is it to play with such a high end group of players?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it almost my whole life now, playing at the national team and then now at Michigan. And it's honestly couldn't ask for anything better. Just going up against those guys in practice and seeing those guys on a daily basis, just it makes myself a better hockey player as well. And it's always nice to be able to steal like a few tricks from them and I mean maybe give a few back, but it's always just it's awesome to be able to go up against those guys.
All right, let's go to this next clip I have for you here. And it shows off your speed a little bit. You start in the defensive zone, obviously, but working your way up the ice, that speed element that we talk about, it's just so lethal and it puts teams on their heels. Talk about how much you incorporate that speed element into your game and just how you've learned to use it, whereas it's not just blazing ahead 100% all the time.
It's definitely tough as you go up into higher levels and teams know that like a guy like myself just wants to build speed, so they're pretty good at trying to stop you from doing that. But being able to use that to just get past defenders and honestly like I can be more it's able to let me be a little bit more aggressive to maybe like push for something and maybe make a mistake, but it helps me to be able to get back and just make up for those mistakes. So I think it's something that is really big part of my game. And Rucker was able to catch up with me up the ice there and put that one home.
Now, talk about this play a little bit because you obviously fly the zone a little bit before the puck's out of the zone, but that's just like you said, pushing the pace aggressively, using that speed. How do you know when to make that read and fly the zone?
Yeah, so this defender had his back turned So I try to like make him just force a play really quick. And I saw once he turned it over in the middle here to Gavin that I could probably just keep pushing the pace. And Gavin's such a smart player. He knows that he can just bank that up the boards and collect a nice apple there and just help us get it to an Omi and Rucker. But I mean, without Gavin making that play, that play wasn't happening.
Now, as I mentioned, you played with so many different guys. Obviously, last year you played with a couple of guys who are currently in the NHL, and Adam Fantilli and Luke Hughes. Did you take anything from those guys, even though Adam's a little bit younger than you, uh, in terms of experience and in the way they're going towards the NHL this year?
Yeah, it's always you're always able to take something from everybody. Like doesn't matter about age. I mean, Adam's just the way he plays, he's so hard and just competitive. And just going up against him in practice, like he hates to lose. And I mean, he loves to just get into everyone's grill and just that's his game. And he's really good at that. And he's really skilled too. So those things go hand in hand. And just maybe try to put some of that in my game. But I mean, and then Luke Hughes is just such a naturally talented player. And he goes out there and he does his thing. And you're like, what? How is this guy doing this? You know? But just, I mean, his on ice work ethic was really hard, and just him be able to play so many minutes a night and just keep going back at it was just really cool to watch. And he was a great player last year and a good role model.
All right, let's get to this next clip. And you talked about bringing some of that work ethic that Adam had in his game and that just snarl and willingness to battle it out. You do so on this play here, battling it out, working through traffic, again, getting into the grind and then making a nice play to the front of the net where your teammate's able to bury it. How important is it for you to be able to add that physical element to your game, even if it's not throwing big hits or making these massive board battle plays? It's still battling through traffic.
It's really important to me, and it's something that I found out a lot more this year about being more physical and just using my size to get into guys. And even if it's not a big hit, just kind of taking them out of the play. And I've had a few big hits every now and then, but I think in this one is just really important to just keep battling and just letting guys know that like no matter what size I am, I'm just gonna keep working hard and just be a little like a pest almost on the ice and just be up in your grill and kind of just work hard. And if you don't want to work hard, then I'm gonna steal the puck. So that's kind of just how I go into it.
Now, what's the area of your game that you think has improved most since your time with the NTDP?
I definitely just say probably my positioning and just like two-way. I think just being able to read plays of like when to go like in the D zone and when to come back and how to come back and like close quicker is something that has definitely been like something I've been trying to focus on more. And at NTDP, you could always like make those mistakes and you won't always get scored on. But I mean, when you go to NCAA and further on, like those mistakes are going to turn into to goals and minuses. So it's something that I've been trying to focus on to get better at. And I'm not perfect at it, but it's definitely something that I've been focusing on a lot.
Now, one of the things I've really appreciated about your game this year is the off puck play and the improvement in that area. And it shows here in the off puck play, making the play up the ice and attacking the net. And you just go driving right to the net. The defender's right on you. They get physical with you and you battle through the contact to be able to stop up and score a goal here. Talk me through a play like this because obviously it's a nice goal, but it's not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, this play, Wisconsin's a very like hard team in front of their net and they track back really fast. And I kind of was reading what Garrett Shifsky was going to do on this play, and he didn't really have much, so I was trying to push the guy back so he could walk in more. And knowing that he was a righty on this play, I kind of just like one of the things you just think about is just a righty pulling up and hitting a toe drag like that and just sniping. And so I was just doing my best to try to push guys back so then I can let them walk in and just making sure I was able to stop at the net so then I could get any rebounds. And the rebound was able to come to me and it worked out in my favor.
Now, this is an area of your game that I've seen grow over the last few years. Whereas when you're with the NTDP, maybe you stop up or you kind of float around the net after kind
Yeah.
of getting there. How important is it for you, just those little aspects of the game, just improving in that area?
It's definitely something that like as you get older you don't really realize like you start to realize more and I mean, if I don't stop right there and I keep going into the corner, I'm not going to score that goal. And then like as you're watching film, you start to think like, geez, like what if I stopped here? Like this play could have been so much different. And I mean, nobody's going to be perfect on rather they stop or keep going or what they do, but just being able to make those mistakes like less and be able to do the right plays more, it will definitely give you a better chance to, I mean, put more pucks than that and just create more scoring chances.
All right, this final clip I have for you here. This is something I saw a lot when you were with the NTDP. You're in on a 2-on-1 and you have the puck on your stick. You kind of give the feeling that you're about to take a nice shot on net here after chipping by the defender. You open the blade up like you're going to shoot, and then you just make that last second quick pass. How much is that deception involved in your game now, in just grown since that NTDP experience?
It's definitely something that I wanted to work on more. Like when I was hurt, I started to realize a lot about the deception and just being able to work plays like this. And just looking at the defender and kind of just reading the play, I was able to realize like him and the goalie kind of bit the fake. So Jackson Hallam's one of the fastest guys I ever played with, is able to join the play up there and just be able to get open. And I knew it was on a one-time option. So I thought that was the best play to make. And after making the defenseman bite on me like for the shot, I think that it's kind of just read and react there for me.
Now, you've played with a lot of really good guys, a lot of big names at Michigan. It's been a pipeline to the NHL over the last few years. But is there a guy in your team this year that maybe a little bit unsung, doesn't have the public love that you think deserves a little bit?
For me, I mean, honestly, I think there's so many guys that I could shout out here on our team that deserve a lot more credit than they have. But I think Dylan Duke is just one of those guys who, I mean, he gets a lot of credit, but I think he deserves a lot more. Just the way he works and the way he battles and just what he's been able to do this year so far has been just really amazing to me. And um, honestly, I think he deserves a lot more love on just not only his on ice attributes, but his off ice attributes. And he's been a good leader and a good role model as well.
All right, now let's get to know you a little bit off the ice. Let's start with this, because obviously I'm not asking you about the NHL draft this time, but what are you taking in school?
Uh, some pretty easy classes, but I'm going into like general studies and with a business focus. So I'm in an English class, um, a popular science class, a leadership class, and then um, an intro to like music class.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's stick on the music topic. What kind of music's in your playlist?
Almost everything but country, but a lot of rap. I think rap's my favorite by far.
What was the karaoke song of choice for you this year? Like, what was the guilty pleasure song of yours?
I don't know. I was lucky enough I didn't have to do any karaoke. I didn't get like shoe checked or anything. But um I don't know. I anything Eminem I could sing really. Just rap Eminem.
That's
But
fair.
yeah, probably him.
Yeah, Michigan kid knowing Eminem. That's
Yeah.
a
It's a
pretty
classic.
standard trait.
Yeah.
If you could have any superpower, which would it be?
Probably like speed like the Flash.
That's fair. Seeing you play on the ice, super speed makes a lot of sense there.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
it fits me, so.
if you could have dinner with any three people, dead or alive, who would they be?
Ooh, that's a good question. Um, oh, that's tough. Yarmer Yager, Jay-Z, and LeBron James.
That's a good trio there. I like that
I
one.
know it's kind of like a weird trio, but I was just like thinking about people I can learn from, and oh, I mean
It,
Tom Brady would be a good one too.
yeah, it's a good trio, and it's three people I don't think I've heard named at all this year. So
Really?
it's a unique one too. I like that. Do you have a hidden talent beyond hockey?
Um, I don't know. I don't really know what's considered a talent. I mean, I could juggle.
Yeah,
I
that
could,
works for me.
I could solve a Rubik's cube. Pretty fast actually.
All right, well,
Probably yeah,
I'm,
those two things.
I'm gonna say those both work for me because I can't juggle and Rubik's cubes frustrate me, so I give them to my
Oh, really?
children.
Did you just
Uh,
peel the stickers off or what?
yeah, I just peel the stickers off and color them all in white, and
Yeah.
look at how good that is.
Oh, yeah.
Let's end it here. Which do you have a movie or a music or a movie or a show recommendation for us?
Um, Sorry, I'm trying to think. You ever see The Good, the Bad, the Ugly?
Yes.
Clint Eastwood, great
Yeah.
movie. That's
Good
my
movie.
recommendation. It's long, not much words, but it's great movie.
All right, Frank. I really appreciate you doing this again. It's a lot of fun catching up a little bit and getting to know you again off the ice and everything.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Good luck the rest of the way, buddy.
Thank you.